The second question we have is, what is the best marketing idea you've ever tried that yielded you new students? Now, it doesn't have to be a new marketing idea. It could be an old one that you use every year, but what is the best one that you've ever tried that yielded you new students? And what was interesting about this question is I asked Amanda if she had some thoughts, and she did, but I had already written a few things down. It was interesting how the two things sort of dovetailed. So Amanda, you share with us what you were going to share.
So the first thing is free, and I would absolutely do it, is getting your studio on Google Maps. It's free to do, and it's great because I've honestly probably gotten, when my studio was at its fullest, that was probably 25% of my studio came just from that. Because when parents are looking for anything, like when I'm looking for swim lessons for my daughter, I looked up swim lessons near me, and that popped up all the swim lessons near me. Well, that's what parents are doing, is piano teacher near me. They're not going to know to look up Peggy's piano studio because they don't know who you are, and your studio may not pop up on Google search results. So if you're on Google Maps, it will automatically pop you up, even if you don't have a website that ranks really well in Google, or you don't have a super full studio that has a lot of Google reviews. It will automatically pop up if you are within a certain distance of that person searching. So I would absolutely suggest doing that. It's very easy to do. And then the second thing I did was I contacted a private school that is rather large in my town, and I was able to get on their monthly newsletter and advertise myself as a piano teacher. And they let me use, they had a giant room with a big grand piano, and they charged me a very tiny percentage of every student that I had. And to me, it was worth it for that tiny percentage. And the way that it worked was that after school, there were a ton of kids in the after school program. And so I had a deal worked out with the teacher where I would just come in and say, okay, it's time for Ben's lesson. I take him for his lesson, bring him back and say, okay, now it's Emily's turn. And it was great because the parents didn't have to take any extra time out of their schedule. The students were already there at the extended school care time. And so it was wonderful. It gave the extended care teacher a break that she didn't have quite so many kids. And then to all of those parents, I said, I will give you a percentage off of your tuition the next semester if you send a student my way that ends up registering and signing up. And I got a lot of students that way. The great thing was that if I already clicked with their student, I was likely to click with their friends as well, because they typically had similar personalities. And it was great because I had built-in camaraderie in my studio. They already knew each other. They already knew how to support each other. They wanted their friends to do well at recitals. So that was something that it cost me a little bit of money, but I ended up getting so many students that way. And students didn't want to quit if their best friend was also taking piano lessons from me. So it had multiple benefits there. Yes, having friends can be really helpful. So that was what I did as well.
Yeah, I love that idea. And lots of people have been mentioning the whole referral fee. I think especially when economic times are, I mean, we're not officially in a recession, but everybody's kind of afraid of it, right? And so anytime you can give a break to a family, I think they're more motivated now to share. So if you say, I've got this, referral program, and if you tell someone and they sign up and they have lessons for this first month, then I'll give you whatever off of your tuition. I think that's more motivating because they think, oh yeah, I should tell so-and-so, or I should tell this person. So, yeah. Lots of teachers do that. And I think it's helpful, especially when they're already looking for ways of getting money off tuition anyway. One thing I was going to say was assume no one knows that you have openings. So easy to assume that everybody knows and that nobody's just calling you. But there's lots of people that you could tell. You could tell your families, of course, tell your own parents, tell your siblings, tell your neighbors, tell school teachers, tell other piano teachers. You never know, there might be a piano teacher that's thinking about going on maternity leave or thinking about retiring or even thinking about moving, and they weren't going to tell you that. Like, it's not something that people announce to a whole piano teacher if they're just thinking about it. So also your referral chairperson and even your piano tutor can give the name of you to somebody else, because he's tuning pianos, not just of teachers, but also of students all the time. So if you just assume nobody knows and you just start telling everybody, chances are somebody knows somebody who will remember you, when they say that they have openings. So